All right, we are here in this King of Random studio, and I'm with Creed. I'm Grant Thompson, and you guys all know Creed. He's been making some really fun projects. We wanted to come together and answer a few questions that we've gotten in the comments. So we made a little collection of some of the, I guess, burning questions you guys have had, and we wanted to take a few minutes to talk about them and answer them, right?
Absolutely.
Also, you might notice this really cool hat Creed is wearing. I also want to point out this very cool shirt that I'm wearing. This is a memorial shirt for Grant. The anniversary of his death date is coming up, so we created something to kind of honor that, and we're going to be sharing that in another video, but this is a little sneak peek. So anyway, let's get to the question, shall we?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's do it. We're going to butcher the names.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
So we'll
but I love it when people get the names. Actually, we could have them edit them in.
Yep. We'll post them up. You can read them.
Okay, so question number one. How was the process of joining the team? I actually really want to hear the story from you. He can tell his story, then I'll tell mine. Let's see if they match.
For sure. Well, so I think there's two levels of this question, right?
Yeah.
So there's how did it come about? Like, what's the story of how we met and how I got to be here?
Right.
And then the other thing is, what is the process that it took to become the host, right?
Yeah.
So I think that there's kind of...
And I think the stories they're kind of both aspects of the same story. Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
So what happened? How did this happen?
Okay, so my version of the story, right? So I'm sitting I'm coming out of Costco one day, and I see the TKOR truck, right? I notice it, and I'm like, you know what? That is so awesome. I can't believe I just saw that truck. I was going into Costco, because then I saw you in there, huh? And while I was in there, I just mentioned, hey, I appreciate the channel so much. It is the very first channel I ever subscribed to when I first got onto YouTube. And I really enjoyed the channel. I learned a lot from it, and I wanted to, thank her for that experience, right? Because I know that there was so much work that went into that.
Yeah, it was really sweet. It was really heartfelt. I really appreciate it when people come up to me if they recognize me, which doesn't happen nearly as often as it did with Grant. But, every once in a while I'll get somebody that's like, oh my gosh, are you the wife of the King of Random? Or like, I watched King of Random, and I'm just like, oh, that's so awesome. And it just really warms my heart when people appreciate the work that my husband did and remember him and, say something.
Yeah.
This was awesome.
It's brilliant.
And I was like, thanks.
Absolutely. It's really cool to be, I don't know, it was just a really cool experience for me. It felt like I was meeting a celebrity at the moment too, so that was cool.
That's not me, but I also really appreciated, you came and you were like, I've done these projects with my son, and they've been really impactful, and especially that part touched me, because I was like, that's so awesome. That was kind of what Grant wanted, is for not only him to be able to do these with his sons, which unfortunately never happened, because by the time he passed, the kids were just getting to the age where they were starting to want to do the projects, but it never, turned into that. So when another dad actually does what Grant wanted to do, I'm just like, oh, that's awesome. I'm so happy for you that you get that,
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I appreciate that ability to be able to, use that information that was given to be able to spend that time with my kids and be able to do those projects and educate my children, right? One thing that's my wife sent me a TikTok video the other day about a mom that was struggling to answer some science questions from her son, right? I think that we all go through that at some point. And
I just make up BS that sounds really good, so my kids think I'm credible. Just kidding. It works sometimes.
Yeah. No, well, but one thing that's really funny for me is every time I answer those questions for my son, I'm referencing in my mind the information that was given to me by Grant. Specifically in the aerospace world, when he asked how do airplanes work, how does why do we feel wind, right? Those concepts I'm more able to explain because of that education I was able to receive from this channel, and that to me meant a lot.
Yeah, I love that. So what he said is true. We met at Costco because I was driving the big old King of Random truck. I don't know, I probably had to pick up some big order because I don't drive the truck around a lot. It's a little too big for me, but
It was the salt for your
Oh
water
yeah, that's
softener.
right. Yeah, and then this was the funny part. Like I'm like loading up these big 50-pound bags of salt. And he's like, "Can I help you?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." Like I love help, and these are heavy, and I have like 1,000 of them. So yeah, I'll take some help. Then we just got talking again, right? And Creed mentioned I'm a handyman. I watched the channel. Oh, this was the other thing that like was really touching to me. He's like, "It's the first channel I ever subscribed to," and I was like, "So awesome." Yeah, and so anyway, then he just said, like I do handyman work, and I was like, oh, my handyman that I've been using, because like when your husband's dead, it's nice to have a handyman to do projects around the house. Like I'm very handy myself now out of necessity, but there's still projects I like to hire out. Plus there's only one of me and there's 4 of my kids, and so it's nice to have help. And so anyway, I was like, yeah, I'd love to take your number so that I can, like if I'll get a list of projects and we can get some of those done, like that'd be great.
Yeah.
And then what happened? How did it transpire into King of Random?
So I think that while we were having that conversation, you had mentioned, because it was kind of at the beginning of the year, right? So I think that you had mentioned that you were looking into potentially having someone come in and take the role of host. And I mentioned I may know some people, because at the time I'm not somebody who has a background in content creation. If you couldn't tell over the last few videos, this is not my specialty. My specialty is a much more eclectic background in engineering, sales, handyman work, and you name it. Many things, not video creation. So I'm learning this. Please be patient with me. I will get better.
Another thing that I want to mention is when someone starts doing this, so Creed was really hesitant. Like, I don't think I can be on camera. I was like, no, you can. Like, trust me, when Grant started, he sucked. And we went through this whole process of I would help him with his voice and the intonations and confidence on camera, so behind the scenes I was working with him, not because I'm an expert, just because I knew him, and I was like, well, you sound better when you do this, and when you say it like that, I don't know what you're saying, and so he and I were very much a team in that, and I was like, no, trust me, I'll watch your videos and I'll tell you what you suck at and I'll tell you how to get better. He's like, okay. And I'm like, it's a process, so just know you're gonna suck at first and it's fine. Yeah, okay.
We all suck at stuff at first, right?
Yeah, exactly, but you have to do it and then you just get better.
Exactly.
So this is the other thing that he mentioned, as we started having some conversations about potential projects and things, Creed came up with these ideas. He's like, this would be a good idea for the channel, this would be a good idea for a video, I could make this project, and he just had a lot of charismatic energy about creating these projects, and I was like, wow, what? This sounds really good. These sound like projects, this is what I've wanted for the channel, and haven't been able to quite find how do I create what I have, this idea in my head of what I want it to look like, while also not being an expert in these types of projects, because I have to remind everybody in the audience that none of this is stuff that I'm super actually interested in myself. It's not that I'm not. It's just that when Grant did these projects and we would watch something blow up 20 times, by the 20th time he was like, that was amazing! And by the 20th time I was like, awesome, it's so great, I love that you love it, but now I'm not interested anymore and I want to go finish dinner because the kids are crying and they're hungry, So it's not that I didn't love it, but I loved that he loved it, right? So that's what I love the most, is watching his passion. And part of your excitement in the projects and the ideas that you had, I was like, this reminds me of when Grant was first starting. It's so fun to see somebody really excited about this. And so then it just kind of transpired into, well, why don't you do a project? We'll put it on the channel and just see how it goes. And there's going to be a learning curve. It's not going to do that well because we've had a lot of transition on the channel and the audience is fatigued from that. Maybe, I don't know, you guys tell me how you feel, but based on comments, reviews, views, all that kind of stuff, it just seems we're certainly aware that the magic the channel had when Grant was here has been dissipated a little bit. As the channel's evolved, it's definitely lost the magic that it had when Grant was here, and that's been a a really hard loss for me to watch. And it's not that there hasn't been good hosts and good projects, it's just as the wife of the person that created this channel, who is so incredibly passionate about it, and seeing how he created it, it's been a really hard thing for me to know how to replicate, which I don't think it's possible to replicate, but know how to create on this foundation that he built for us, how to create something that can keep moving and growing and being what he would have done if he were here. And that's a question I, still ask myself every day. So like when Creed came on the scene, and like it was a very organic meeting, and like we kind of talked about this at one point. I almost felt like Grant was almost orchestrating it in a strange way. And I was like, finally you're helping me find someone. But, like at the same time, it's like, because, previous to this, I wasn't involved in the other people that were on the channel. It's just all I'll say. And again, they were all wonderful. I have no complaints, and, wonderful people and wonderful projects. But at that time, I was in a place where I couldn't really be involved the way that I was needed to be involved. And I'm still in a place where it's really difficult for me to do that, but I'm much more capable now versus being like in a crazy, like traumatic lost state where I'm just trying to survive, right? So anyway, I felt like it was kind of like a very potentially orchestrated
serendipitous.
Yeah, serendipitous. Yeah. So anyway, okay, so that was a really long answer to that question. We'll go to the next one. Okay.
Only 11 minutes
I know,
long,
yeah,
it looks
we'll
like.
We'll edit that one down. Okay, you go ahead with the next one.
Absolutely. So we've got the question of any plans on revisiting some of the classic builds.
Classic builds, yeah, for sure. So one of the things I really have wanted to do with the channel is, especially in the beginning, like right after Grant passed, I was like, let's just rebuild everything that he did. And the consensus on that from, the group at the time was like, no, we're not really that interested. And I was like, this is so great. Like, he's done so many great things. Let's like redo them and put a spin on them, or just redo them, like just go through the experience. So I've always really wanted to do that. And you guys have seen that I have been reposting some of his like best content, mostly because I just want that to be on the internet again, not because for me, it's just so sweet to see what he did and revisit it. And I feel like a lot of the audience feels that same way, but I just think like what he did was so good, why not improve on it and repeat it, right?
Well, and I think that having some of those mashups of his previous things was really good for helping other creators and myself ideate new things, stuff that will help to boost the ideation across all of YouTube, hopefully, and help everyone be more creative as a whole. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I do too. And I think all ideas come from a universal source. It's just like who's open and receptive to the information and like creating an outlet for it to become real in reality. And so it's like everybody has the same opportunities to make a project, but we all connect with different things that like, pique our interest, and that's what we actually move forward and do. So it's just another one of those things where Grant had these really amazing interests and his own talents, and now the people that are here can use that and build on it and be inspired, but also do their own thing that's part of what calls them, like what calls you. What is a project that you have built that assembled many smaller projects? Do you understand that question? So it's like little projects that make one big project? Is that what they're asking? Okay.
Absolutely.
Wow, I'm smarter than I look. I got it.
You did get it. I think that all projects, to some degree, are a combination of many small projects. Not all, but on a scale, true. I think that you're pretty safe to say that. That being said, I do have a specific project in mind that does this exactly what I think that you're asking. So I'm not going to give away anything specific, but yeah, most of my projects have many smaller, you could call them side quests, to complete the project as a whole, because that's what I like to do. I think that puzzles are probably the most entertaining thing for me, and I like my projects to turn into a puzzle of sorts.
I love it. Okay, well, we're excited to see what smaller projects create something bigger. And if you have any ideas of smaller projects that can become something bigger, like let us know. We'd love to hear in the comments what you want to see built. Okay, next question. When are you going to make things go kaboom? You guys love blowing up stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, our neighbors hated that. Hopefully you have nice neighbors.
I do have nice neighbors, luckily.
Are they gonna like it if you blow shit up?
I'll give them a warning.
Okay.
They'll be okay. Actually, funny enough, our next video potentially could go kaboom, but not on purpose. I hope it doesn't go critical. That being said, we will intentionally blow things up.
Okay.
I'll be safe with the next video, though. Precautions being taken.
Perfect. And I just remember we just had these very large helium balloons that Grant was popping with incredible explosions, and this neighbor lady came over like, my granddaughter's sleeping right now and you woke her up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but like, sorry. Okay. What games do you play?
That's a good question, because I think that they're specifically speaking of gaming, right?
I think so.
So I'm going to be perfectly honest with you there. I'm a little bit boring. I do enjoy playing Mario Kart on the Switch with my kids. I do play a couple of Switch games. I really enjoy those, but it's mostly to play with my kids. I do enjoy board games, but where my nerd really comes out is in fantasy novels.
Oh, like reading them.
Oh yeah, I love reading fantasy novels.
Okay, what's your favorite like couple?
I would say I think that the best written series. Ooh, okay, so there's two different types of fantasy novel that I like. There's one that is specifically like an RPG style, the way that it's written. So it's written like a game. And I would say my favorite is The Primal Hunter. That series is phenomenal. Okay. It's written by a man.
Is this something like my kids would like lots of age group, or is that more like adult level?
There's quite a bit of cursing.
That's okay. I'm not opposed to that.
But there's not like any explicit things. I mean, someone blows up from an arrow hitting them, right?
Right. So what you're saying is my kids would love that. Got it.
And there's no explicit X-rated content.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So it's clean as far as like that. That's great. Yeah. That is good. My boys are a lot like their dad. They love to blow things up. They love like highly intense things. Yeah. It's actually like living with 4 small Grants who don't have the like temperament to be safe. It's amazing I'm actually still alive. Anyway, no, they're fine. It's just like if I leave the house, when I come back and it's still standing and not burned down, I'm like, thank God, praise God. Okay, jeez. Okay, what games do I play? None. Yes, I do like to play Settlers of Catan. I am very much a big nerd as well. Yes, you like that game?
Settlers is awesome.
I'll kick your butt. Okay.
Probably.
I'm very strategic in Settlers, and I do get very competitive. But I also can like when I can see how it's gonna go, I can let go and like allow someone else to win, and take happiness and joy in their experience of winning. I can be just as happy with that.
Yeah, or come back and bring it back to hit them harder the next time. I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, I also like to read books. I haven't really gotten into like fantasy fiction or anything like that, but it sounds like I like to read a lot of classic books, and I put on books on tape with my kids. That's not the question you asked. You guys are so boring. Also, I have played Mario Kart. I'm very strict with screen time with my kids, so I'm like really mean, and I'm a mean mom that way. But my kids like to game a lot. I know they like Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox. What are other popular games kids play?
I've already named more than I know.
Okay, well there you go.
I'm sorry.
I actually, my ADHD is so raging, I cannot sit down and watch a video game. I can't. Or play a video. I can't. It's impossible for me.
I'll play Assassin's Creed and also have a fantasy novel in my ears.
Yeah, that's another one my son likes. But because I haven't gone through the learning curve of learning a game, I know ADHDers love video gaming, but it's also something that I have once I get over the learning curve of learning something and I'm really good at it, I get obsessed with it. But I haven't done that with video games because I'm trying to raise 4 kids by myself and do all this.
What? Like it's hard?
Okay, so I don't understand this question. You want to read that and explain it to me?
Who are you and where are you from?
No,
can you take us higher? Okay, can you take us higher to a place where blind men see? I think we both know what I'm talking about. Invisibility shields.
Oh, I totally want an invisibility shield. Can you make one of those?
I can make one of those. There are many creators who have done a version of that. There's Vsauce, there's Mark Rober, there's a number of different Smarter Every Day.
I guess I'm behind on my YouTube watching of those channels. Sorry guys, I know you all, but I haven't watched them. Anyway,
it's all good. So there's a lot of versions of some kind of invisibility shield that exist.
Does it actually make you invisible? Like
No.
what? Okay.
So it bends light around you, essentially. So
Oh, okay, cool.
yeah, it's kind of like this glass.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it
I
makes
see
you
the
invisible
concept.
based on. So I will. That is water, by the way.
That's what he says. I know it is. Big water drinker, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hot out here.
It is very hot out here.
So yeah, I mean, I think that I can definitely do a video on that. I really like that idea. Let us know what you think. If there's some version of that you would want to see and you haven't, I'd love to visit that, and I will definitely be thinking of my own ideas as well.
Done and done. We'll do it. Okay, the next one, anti-grav vid. Can we do that?
Let me know if this is good enough.
It's working. Wow.
Good enough?
And gravity is still real.
No, I will do something better than that, don't worry.
Okay, so yes on the anti-grav vid. Okay, cool. All right, this is for Creed, I think. Or maybe this was going to be asked of me, but Creed, who are you and where are you from?
Well, I'm Creed. I'm from Utah, from the Salt Lake area. Went to Skyline High School. I went to the University of Utah, and then followed up at Dixie State University. Got a business degree. Went into tech sales, done real estate, auto sales, many different things. Med device sales. I have some ideas with med device things.
Scary.
No real cadavers, but maybe a sawbones if you know what that is. But definitely have an eclectic background, right? And most.
And where's your background in handyman work? Like being able to, because that's definitely one of the skills that you've really, like you have a lot of intellectual capacity, but also like the skill to build things, and that's pretty cool. Like, did you grow up doing projects and?
So my dad was very much a person that knew how to do everything. He's an incredibly intelligent man. He taught me how to do framing, put in windows, put up doors, basically anything that you can think of that a handyman would do on a small scale, he's taught me how to do rather than hire people over the years.
I love it. So I have this idea. I want to rip out all the space in my attic, build a ladder, and like make an incredible like crawl space and playroom for my kids. Like, doesn't that sound so fun?
Yes.
Could you do that?
No.
Oh,
But
dang it.
if we get an engineer involved so your roof doesn't collapse,
Oh, right.
yes.
I was just gonna like fly by the seat of my pants because it sounded like a good idea. See, that's
No,
where
I
that
like you too
intellect
much.
comes in.
I
Yeah.
like you too much to let your roof collapse.
Thank you. I
that
actually
would
do
be
appreciate that because I wouldn't even think about the roof collapsing. I would just be like laying in my bed and then dead.
If we don't remove any of the rafters, I could go around them. It will
Okay.
be tight corners though.
That's
I
fine.
think we want
We're
a bigger
talking little
space.
kids. Like,
That's true.
we'll see.
We'll
maybe
think about it.
Maybe we'll make a project of that. Okay. So I know you totally wanted to ask me who I am and where I'm from. I'm Janae Thompson. I married Grant back in 2007. In fact, it would have been our 18th wedding anniversary. But yeah, Grant and I met in Salt Lake. He grew up in Canada. I grew up in Utah. We met in Utah. I moved to Arizona, swearing never to go back to Utah ever, but I think Grant called me back to Utah because I met him right when I moved back because I bought a house and he bought a house and we were neighbors. And anyway, so yeah, my background is in social science. That's what my degree is in. And I was gonna go to law school. That didn't happen. I'm a really good arguer though, so I've always had that skill. Anyway, I
won't test that.
yeah, best not to. Don't ask my kids. They don't love that about me.
My wife will tell you I'm not good at arguing.
Yeah, it's probably better if you're not. It's more peaceful. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what else. I think that's probably good. Okay, next one. Next question. Can you make a new Assassin's...
Micro.
Micro. Okay, micro cross. Can you make a new Assassin's micro crossbow with a trigger? Yes, I love the trigger idea. You think you can do it?
Oh yeah, I think that definitely, especially given the limitations that were put on Grant at the time, there weren't 3D printers, there weren't, send, cut, send, like was absolutely brilliantly recommended by somebody in our comments recently.
That would be a fun evolution of that project.
Yes, I don't know how I didn't think about that for that project, but yeah, absolutely, that's something that we can, use for a project like this, and I have some ideas on how to improve it as well.
Don't teach my kids how to use a trigger crossbow if it has a lot of power. Even if it's a mini, they're going to start sticking each other. Like, I can just see things sticking out.
We'll come up with something
safe.
Safety first.
Safety is our number one priority.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, do you feel an air of responsibility to keep this channel going in Grant's legacy, or have you resigned to being a smaller channel with the aim of regrowing? I guess that's a question for both of us, but
yeah.
What do you think?
I think that Grant did something very unique that can't necessarily be replicated. I will never consider myself in those shoes. That's something that's beyond me. I will say that I have my own style that I'd like to run with. And I think that, I really hope that our audience, should I make a joke here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Clocks with that as I stand on business.
There you go.
Sorry, Justin Bieber, I love you, you're great.
Yeah, I don't know Justin Bieber, I don't listen to that shit. Just kidding.
I have a daughter, what can I say?
There you go, that's true. I have no daughters, so I have no idea.
My daughter is my princess, so my toes are painted pink right now, if you're wondering.
I love it. My toes haven't been manicured for months. Okay.
Yeah, you don't get to see that for free.
His are nice. His are nicer than mine, and you don't get to see mine for free either. Okay. So my answer to that, do I feel an air of responsibility to keep the channel going in Grant's legacy? Yeah. I think the first, especially 5 years after Grant passed, where the channel was actually just more of a really painful interaction and responsibility for me. So, I feel like we're potentially in a new era of what should this be without Grant, without me having that just really painful interaction with the channel itself, because it was that was my husband, that was his passion, that was what he loved, and what am I supposed to do with it? So, I mean, the answer to that question is I've always felt an air of responsibility to carry on his legacy without feeling that I am competent to do that for him, but potentially with him. So we're figuring that out. Yeah. Okay.
We're going to do our best.
Yeah, we'll always do our best. Okay, next question. Go ahead.
Okay. What are some of your favorite project ideas, both done and to be implemented? I was thinking earlier about some of my favorite videos from Grant, and I did love the thermite videos. I loved the videos on making your own forge. I loved the aluminum things that they did with the forging. However, one thing that always comes back to mind is some of the survival skills that he taught. How to get fresh water, how to make fire. A couple of things that were, as an Eagle Scout, just and somebody who was just about to get married when I was discovering YouTube and getting onto the channel and doing all those things, right? I was thinking about, well, if something happens, I got to protect my family. Now I have a family.
Yeah, and that was Grant's main motivation is wait, when I flip on the light and the light comes on, I don't know how that happens. I couldn't recreate that if everything dissolved in society as it functions as we know it.
So I actually had a very similar bug out bag kind of mindset for a little while, for a couple of years. And I still keep a bug out bag just in case, but it's not really
I do too. Grant set them all up, and I had to move all 6 of them to my new house, and the crazy stuff he left behind.
I'm a little less doomsday now than I was, but I will say that it's really responsible and important to be educated on how to take care of yourself.
Agreed.
So I would love to do some of those videos while maybe staying overnight in the Uintas or something, you know? Doing a video like that I think would be really fun.
Yeah.
And maybe putting my own spin on some of those same things.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Let us know if you want to see something like that.
Yeah, and Grant and I were kind of on the same page in that I liked to do a lot of that, like in the kitchen. You know, I learned how to make my own sourdough bread. I learned how to make my own fresh, I don't know, like, okay, I learned how to plant a garden. I had chickens, you know, like all these things that are kind of like self-preservation things within the context of, you know, survival and eating, and like what can the man hunt and bring home, and how can I prepare and cook it? You know, we were kind of a lot like that. And so I got really into my roles with that, and I even learned how to make my own sourdough yeast. Okay, next question. Oh, you know what? Okay, so on the favorite project ideas, this is an interesting question because I was always so excited to hear what Grant's project ideas were that I just never really even thought about like what would be a fun project. So the question actually kind of like is throwing me a little bit because I'm like, what would I do if I wanted to do a project that was like kind of crazy? And like the first thing that comes to my mind, and maybe this is a reflection of how I think, but like I would love to get like those big human bubbles where you can be in a blow up thing and put it in a pool and like run around and walk on water. Like that's not even a King of Random project. That just sounds fun to me.
I think at some point you did put one of these. We did similar things.
Pool. Yeah, like we did similar, but like I want to walk on water. Is that possible? Is that possible? So I just put a swimming pool in. Let's try it. Okay. Favorite.
Oh, I have some fun ideas with her swimming pool if she lets me do it.
Definitely. On board. Okay, favorite TKOR project or video?
Again, I think that I really lean heavily on those like survival skills. I think that was something that really interested me, and the education that Grant definitely had in that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I think that's important. I think it's something that's smart to know, like how to take care of yourself.
For sure it is, because when the apocalypse happens and the shit hits the fan, like we're gonna want valuable people with valuable skills.
You need
Those
to
are
know,
gonna be the survivors, you guys.
You need to know how to get clean water, make fire, and make a crossbow.
Not
a handmade bow.
Yes, a handmade bow would be very useful.
That actually came from...
Did you make that?
Yeah, it came from an oak tree that was toppled in a windstorm right out here in the front yard.
That is cool.
Yeah, I have 3 more staves that I can carve into some bows. So maybe I do another handmade bow.
Heck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want one of them.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So I'm just going to paraphrase this. The last question is like, what's going on? And we should have answered that in all the questions. But the answer to the question, what's going on, I have no idea.
My best guess is, you know, right now we have an opportunity to use this platform to educate people and to, you know, really bring some energy and something, breathe life back into something that I think has, you know, a great legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that being able to call back to that legacy is really important. I think that there's something to be said for, it would probably be a lot easier to start a whole new channel at this point and put the money into that. But frankly, I think the legacy is better staying with this because people want to look back and see those videos that have been done by Grant and not have to go to a different page for that.
Wow, yeah. That was so much more of a beautiful answer than my joke of I don't know. Thanks for making me look bad, Cree. But
no one can make you look bad.
Oh, thank you. But I do want to like echo what you said. Like it really is truly the curiosity of ask a question and figure out how to create an answer and how that drew people in. To me, that's really the legacy. And like, how do we do that on an individual basis with our own desires and interests and ways that we want to learn? Like, that's kind of what I would consider is the legacy we want to build on. And like, how can we involve the community and each other and, you know, the people that are here still after Grant is gone? Like, how do we do that and make the most of ourselves? Like, that's kind of the inspiration. So thanks for your much better answer and bringing me back into a more serious answer.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate this opportunity to be here. I appreciate the opportunity that the fans are giving us to, you know, present this new face of TKOR, and hopefully we can turn it, you know, or we can grow with you in this space and you know, thrive again.
Yes, done. I love it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Cree, and thanks for joining us on this little Q&A. And you know, if you have more questions, put them in the comments. We are happy to answer them, and we can't wait to grow with you.
Absolutely. Oh, kitchen stuff. I want to do kitchen stuff. Okay, bye.
You're leaving? See, this is what I have to deal with.